Yo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kickstarter Quest. Now at an earlier time, we've got an incredible show ahead of us tonight. Truly an incredible show. You guys are going to love it so much. But before we get into that, of course, I'm joined by my constant co-host, Arel. Arel, how's it going?
Hi, chat. Today, we're not cooked. Maybe we are. Chat, are we cooked today? Let's find out.
Are we cooked or not? Why would we be cooked, Arel?
I don't know.
Tell me why would we be cooked?
We took a quick look at the games on the list again, and much like last week, we have raised our eyebrows questioningly. I think that is a safe thing to say without spoiling too much.
I would say that's a safe, yeah, that's certainly something that I did when I opened up Board Game Geek this morning and had a look at this list. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the games are looking. But, regardless of how the games are looking, I'm pretty excited about how the stream is looking today. We've got some big improvements. Not only are we at a new time, but we also have a fun new game that we're going to play as we sort of go through the list. In fact, I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you guys. Let's hop on over to this. Can't wait. Is that the right? No, we want this. This is what we want. Okay, so check this out. Tier list time. It's happening. I should have figured out how to not have my face cover some of this up. Oh wait, why am I hearing myself? Is that you? That's probably
That's okay. Yeah, forget it.
No worries, Arel. No worries at all. But yes, we're going to be ranking these games on the tier list as we go, and then we have several awards to hand out at the end of the evening too. So stay tuned to the end to find out who wins Best Game, Best Art, and Best Campaign, all here on Kickstarter Quest.
Which is to say, I feel like we point out, campaign does not mean like the campaign of a board game, like the overall Kickstarter campaign.
The Kickstarter campaign, that is what we will be ranking here, yes. Very nice. Shout out everybody in the chat room. Good to see everybody popping off in there. Jerry, great to see you as always. Soap, good to have you here. And Zach, thank you so much for the sub to kick the stream off. Huge, honestly. Very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff. So glad you guys could all make it today. Hopefully this earlier time slot sort of fits people's schedules a little bit better. We're playing around with it, guys. We're trying to figure out, what the best option is for us here. But yeah, this is where we're at today. I guess let us know what you think, how it works for you. And we're always happy to make further accommodations as needed. So, yeah, what do you say? Should we just jump into it? Usually we do like a little update first. Should we do life updates? Did you pick up any games recently? That was a fun segment we did last week.
I did not pick up any games recently. I almost bought a game. I think I went to a bookstore and they had a copy of Tsuro, which we talked about last week briefly because one of the games reminded me and somebody else that was in chat of Tsuro, and I was like, oh, this is a good chance to get a nice tile laying game, especially like Tsuro is kind of the one of those games where like all the pieces are big and bulky, so you can like take them to like a picnic or something, and you don't have to worry about things happening to your pieces. And then I was like, I literally have no more space for board games on my board game shelf. It is at 110% capacity. So from now on, the games that I'm getting, they have to pass all sorts of tests to be there. So it was a no-go for me.
Okay, so no Tsuro.
No Tsuro. Did you get any games?
I did not. No, that's not true. I did get one game. Let me show it off real quick.
Okay. It's gone. Will he come back? I don't know. Guys, I'm getting scared. Guys, I'm really worried. Oh.
Yo, Brian, what's up? Good to have you here. Hope you're enjoying the new earlier time. Hope it works out a little better for you. I know you were one of the people lobbying for this, so good to see you sticking to your word, as it were. Good to have you here. Okay, so I got one game, and it actually came with a second game in the package, which was like a pleasant surprise. So I'll show. This is the Mire. This is a game that is published by a fellow local Colorado designer who I met up with a couple weeks ago at a they were doing like a playtest event at a. There's actually like a board game bar right down the street from me that I've been going to
Oh,
quite a
cute.
bit, hosting all kinds of. They do all kinds of events, but one of the things they do is once a month this company gets together and playtests some of their new games. They're like a brand new company. This is their first game, um,
Whoa.
and yeah, it just got here. I think a couple weeks ago when we were talking about tariffs, we were talking. I was telling you about these guys and how
Oh
it
yeah.
was tough for them that it came like as their stuff was on the boat in transit. The tariffs hit, and so they ended up having to pay some pretty hefty fees on it. But it's here, and I got it, and I don't know really anything about it. I have not played it before. They were not play testing this when they had some other stuff that we play tested. But anyways, that's the Mire. I think. Okay, so it's 15 to 20 minutes, ages 10 plus, 2 players, not suitable for children under 3 years old. So it's highly strategic, simple to learn, endlessly replayable, and easy to travel. That's what it says on the back of the box. So that's the
Okay.
Mire. I guess I'll keep you posted after I play it on my thoughts on it.
Yeah, please.
But um, but yeah, very cool. Always happy to support fellow local game designers. And then in my package that shipped with this, I guess I don't know what this is, but I got like a little pack of cards for Pocket Paragons. Have you heard of Pocket
Whoa.
Paragons before, Arl? Are you
Never
familiar
in
at
my
all?
life.
This is a game that I see every year at Gen Con. They have a booth, and I'm always interested by it, but never enough to like stop and see what's up. So I guess I didn't really know very much about it before this just came included with my order. It's just like a small, I think it's 18 cards exactly in there. But I guess the deal is that you've got like these different heroes. It comes with 2 heroes that each have like a 7 card deck. And then you just sort of play some sort of. My understanding is it's sort of rock paper scissors adjacent the
Oh,
gameplay. But they've got these cards and they've got like different icons. It's really hard to look at a camera that's reversed and try to show stuff, but
no,
they
I
got these
understand.
icons with numbers on them that I think is like supposed to be kind of rock paper scissors. Anyways, another game that I don't really know anything about, but I want to try to play it here
Yeah, give it
soon,
a
and
go.
I'll once again report back. So that's my game pickups for the week. Um, yeah, that's what I got. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Let's see
Yeah,
what does Brian have to say here. I'm trying to read chat.
I got
Works better. I think I saw that or a similar one. The Denver is a bit far. Okay. Oh yeah. It's at Tabletop Tap. Yeah, you should if you're ever in the area. I know it's like an hour drive for you, but if you're ever in the area on a Thursday, definitely come through. It'd be cool to see you and do some playtesting. I'm starting to bring some of my stuff there to playtest as well. So if you
it.
want to see
Ooh.
what's in the works at Studio Spicy, could you could certainly do that. All right. Yeah, should we just do it? Should we just get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's get
start
into
looking at
it.
games. Here we go, guys. We've got 11 games on the docket tonight. 11 games to look at. And yeah, write down the list. So Project L is at the top, which Arl and I both had some fun with. It's just kind of a crazy name for a game. I'm pretty sure that this is the same name that the League of Legends trading card game had for a short while before they officially announced the real name of it. So lucky for them that wasn't there was no overlap between their
I mean,
Kickstarter campaign and the.
if you go forward literally one letter to Project M, I believe that's the like Super Smash Bros. Melee fan game
That's
that's been in
true.
development for like 10 years. So
Also true. Yes. So interesting name, interesting cover too. Um,
yeah,
but
it looks like the cover of a PlayStation 1 game. It like matches that aesthetic so perfectly.
sure, sure, sort of geometric. It's got that pixely
Yeah,
font, definitely. But that's promoted. We've got plenty of time before that ends. That's not ending until May
yeah.
14th. So we're not going to be looking at that tonight. But we are going to look at Get Stacked, the first game on the list. 600% funded with about 90K in the bank. 1,200 backers. So looks like a pretty good start.
Pretty
Let's
good.
see what this project is all about. We've got a video. Oh, should I set a timer too? Should I get a timer going on these?
Yeah. I thought 7 minutes was good last time.
Yeah. Hold on, I've got a little phone stand in the other room that I need to grab so I can set my phone. I'll be right back.
He's gone again. I get so nervous when he's gone. What do I do? There's like a wave of despair. Oh, he's back. Oh, is he back? Okay, yeah, he's back.
Alrighty, let's put 7 on the clock and start. Alright, let's see what this video is all about. First of all, it's a Mario Party-like board game with an RPG twist. Not the direction I was expecting this to go. I also don't know if you can say Mario Party in your Kickstarter title.
Thank God it's got 15 hours left, or that takedown notice could have been hitting like a truck.
Yeah, it certainly could have. Alright, let's see what their video is all about. Oh, I hate that sound.
Report to the portals. The games are set to begin.
Hate this.
Oh, you're not getting best video already, I'll tell you that, buddy. Sorry.
Get stacked. Enormous crowds assemble to witness champions from across the multiverse vie for glory, treasures, and supremacy in epic battles. Dare you step
Is this
into
loud
the
enough for you
arena
guys?
and claim the title of Ultimate Champion?
Yeah. It just has bad audio mixing.
Yeah,
The new board game,
that's pretty bad.
Get Stacked. It's the last party board game you'll
We've
ever
had 3 different announcers cover this video so far. The first 2 were like AI generated. It's like the voiceovers things, and then this one's like just some guy talking. So
Just some guy.
any amount of cohesion here would be appreciated. We'll see if we can get there in the next 2 minutes.
Get Stacked is for 2 to 8 players, and it takes about 30 to 60 minutes.
Finally,
this
some
board game is so
gameplay.
fun, you might decide to quit your day job. Before starting the game, each player will select a
That's kind of
champion.
cute.
Let's meet a few of them now. Here's Skazwolf III, Werewolf Brawler,
No, I don't like
Wood,
Skazwolf the
Wood
Third.
Elf Warrior,
Why are they all the same?
or even
like
the Ghost
body?
of Cheese Man. Get Stacked is played
yeah,
in several rounds,
I wonder.
each divided into 3 phases. Phase 1, Get Ranked. Start each round by competing in one of 40 minigames to earn your ranking.
I don't
Minigames include tons of classic
love
party
the
games
style.
involving dice,
This looks bad. I'm sorry to say. These look pretty bad.
playing
You
cards,
put the
wordplay,
if this becomes one of the things that we turn into a reel, can we get that classic meme of that like grandma squinting at the computer? Because that's what I'm doing right now.
Sure.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
Is
we
this
can get
how-
that in there just for you.
and sometimes just blind luck. Based on your minigame performance, take a rank medal that you'll use for the next phases. Phase 2, Get Stacked. In the order of the minigame ranking, players choose and stack transparent treasure cards directly
All
onto
right.
their
Well,
champion.
this is
The
just
game has 49 unique treasures with different categories.
okay. So
Yeah,
first of all,
we've
this
seen that.
explains why they're all in the same pose, because you're going to be
Yeah.
stacking stuff on top of them. Second of all, this is just it looks like a worse version of Misfit Heroes.
Yeah.
A real game from a. Well, I'll cool it a little
Power
bit.
level.
Let's get through the rest of the video.
You can equip treasures ranging from a laser saber to
Whoa.
a giant corn dog.
Whoa.
Maybe you'll win Queen Ligris. Or just get stuck with Lucy the Wiener Dog. She's cute,
Whoa.
but not the best battle mate. You can
Okay.
stack your champion with over 16 million unique treasure combinations. Some of the combinations are
Sure,
so cool,
whatever.
you might get a little too attached.
Am I the only one that feels like whenever a game is like over 16 million different combinations, it's like, yeah, that's just how exponential math works.
That's
Like
that's
that's
how
not
math
an
works.
that's
yeah.
not an impressive. You have like 100 cards in the deck and you can combine them all. It's like what's 100 to the 100th power? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty big number.
They're banking on you not knowing that.
Hurry
Yeah.
up. Dude, it's your turn.
Phase 3 is called Get Attacked. Choose whether to fight a monster, further strengthen your champion, or sabotage your opponents, which is great for strengthening your friendships.
I'm gonna increase that monster's level by 3.
I think have we seen enough here?
Yeah. Now we have.
I think
Draw
we've
and-
Now we
seen
have.
enough.
Now we've certainly seen enough.
90K, by the way.
Certainly seen enough.
Uh, I'm gonna a couple predictions before we scroll down any further. I'm gonna put money on first time creator.
Uh-huh.
I think the game is gonna be $39.
I'm gonna make us a bingo board for next week.
Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. A bingo board. Oh, we can post it in the Discord beforehand, so everybody can kind of follow along.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make one for next week.
That's pretty good.
Also,
yeah.
good comment for ZT Evans is a Brian, right? That's correct.
No, that's Zach, because it starts with a Z.
Okay.
Okay,
Zach.
the two Brians are Gizmos and
Gizmo.
Pork Chop Brian is Hawks something. H-O-X.
Oxito. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach says there are nearly 1,300 lineup combinations in every set of Baseball America. Don't fact check that math.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like that. Baseball America, by the way, is Play Games fictional.
I need to make my own cheat sheet. You're extremely right.
Yep. First created. What did I say? Got that. And $39. $39, guys. I did not pre-watch this. I promise.
That was.
I did not
crazy.
pre-watch. $39. There it is. And first backed. Kind of a cool logo. I am a little bit baffled by the production of this game. It's just so all over the place.
Some
of the
also
stuff is cool.
Thought... stands for T stands for terribly That's extremely funny and almost certainly untrue. You know what's really is that I actually thought there was something in in the industry, a collection of Mario Party games. We refer to those as micro games that only take about a minute to play, and you rotate through a bunch of them in one thing. So they're called micro games, or mini games if they're a little longer. It's all dependent, but. A board game or a card game, a party game that is in fact a collection of mini games or micro games is not actually a bad idea. I mean, it's not uncommon. You know,
people have done this before.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of it right now. Jeez, Pete. Cranium. Cranium is like that. It's a collection of drawing games and trivia games, and it was one of my favorites when I was a kid growing up. So I think there's something there, and then they're just also trying to make it like an RPG card battler, and I'm like, well, that's actually quite a lot.
It feels like the two ideas are kind of at odds with each other.
Yeah,
I could see a world where the mini games you're gonna bring your hero into different mini games, but it's hard to imagine like the stats and stuff that you're building on these heroes being applicable across multiple different mini games that are all like simple enough that you can learn and play them in a minute, and also complicated enough to integrate like all these stats that you're building with equipment on your character. We are past the 7-minute mark, by the way, so I don't know how much more time we're going to spend here.
Give it another minute. We'll look at it.
Yeah, I do feel like the things that are standing out to me about this game is, one, the art isn't terrible, but it's not applied very well. Like to the card.
The art looks like a really good Flash game.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think that's certainly
where I'm like, I'm not against it, but it's also not selling me on the game.
Yeah. Yep, the style's kind of generic.
Some of the mini-game cards are not formatted. I mean, you were talking about this, but like looking at these, I'm like, you can't even read any of them. You literally cannot read any of these right now.
No. Yeah, I have... Let's just try to read one. Okay, so number 5s, no 5s, I guess is what it's called. It's called no 5s. Don't roll a multiple of 5. 1. Players take turns rolling a die. 2. Referee keeps a grand total of all players' rolls added together. 3. If a player rolls and the new grand total is a multiple of 5, that player is eliminated.
Okay, cool.
And that's the whole game.
These are board games whose name is Brian, by the way. I know that.
Yeah, you know that.
Not because I just wrote it down on a list. Wrote, it seems like it's fine. Everything in the game looks fine. And I agree. Everything that I've been seeing, I go, okay, fine. And I feel like that's a great place to sort of...
Yeah. You know what I'm not saying fine about? Is their video. We got to get a better video,
Yeah.
guys.
Can you very quickly? I'm not making a meal out of it. Can you press use of AI? I want to see what's been AI'd.
Oh, sure.
We're not gonna have a whole talk about it.
Artwork for all 10 characters, 49 treasures, and 50 monsters were 100% human created.
Okay.
We commissioned...
Crazy thing to start in your use of AI thing.
Yeah, I thought it was about to say
You
this
had
is
me,
all
like,
AI.
nervous for a second.
Well,
Yeah.
100% AI generated. We commissioned blah 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 and want to give her the biggest shout out for bringing her ideas to life. The background scenery for a portion of the characters and monster. Okay, yeah, that's you know,
Okay.
that's
Whatever.
whatever. Don't care really.
Whatever. It's fine. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
5 out of 10, Gabe. Congratulations on $90,000.
yeah. Should we rank it, or should we wait till
Oh,
the
yeah.
end to rank everything?
No,
I
I think
feel
it's
like
good
let's
to do
do
them now.
Yeah, let's do the tier list as we go, and we'll do the awards at the end.
I would say C.
Yep, that feels right to me.
I mean, it's not terribly offensive. I feel like a D tier is reserved for, like, what is this even doing here? How dare they?
Right.
And it's not doing that, but it certainly is not doing much. It's certainly not doing much more than being a game.
Yep. Agreed. I think C tier is fair. And that's where Get
right.
Stacked ranks on our list for tonight.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Shall
Let's
we?
keep things moving. Close that. Next up on the list, we've got Grunling's Fantastic Fruit. Now, this one does look a bit... this looks like a game. This looks like a real thing. A real game
Good
made by a
start.
real game company. And beyond that, I don't really have any
Oh, I like
initial
that box art.
impressions. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, and I like what I see from the video so far. Only
Okay,
15K
Grunlings.
made for Grunlings, which
Yeah.
you compare this to Get Stacked.
The world is
it's
an unfair place
A little bit,
sometimes.
yeah. It's a little bit mind-boggling. Yeah. Let's have a look at
Yeah.
Grunlings.
Hi, I'm Johanna.
Hi.
I'm an artist from Germany, and these are my
You sound like
Grunlings. They are friendly,
Grunling.
cheeky nature spirits who hide in the gardens of the world and help plants grow with their powers.
Oh, that's
in this
great.
card game, filled with over
I love a game where the artist is also the game designer. That's very... That
Yeah.
always adds a layer of charm to the project that I like to see.
Yeah.
Thanks to adorable illustrations, you will collect the Grunlings and their unique abilities to have the sweetest garden of all the players. Score the most points at the end to win. The neutral animals of the island might come to your aid, but you always
Oh, I
have
thought
to
they
be
were gonna
careful
eat the
about
Grunlings.
mysterious darklings around,
I got scared.
as well as
Yeah.
unpredictable
Dark.
forces of nature, affecting all
No.
players. It
No!
is an
No.
adorable casual game.
Don't frost the
balancing luck and
Grunlings.
strategy. Perfect for
Not
playing
the
with friends and
Grunlings.
family. How did we come up with the fruit idea? I simply love to draw plants and adorable characters. Some years ago, my Grunlings reached a lot of popularity on social
Oh,
media.
that's
And
fun.
I quit my job in the video game industry to pursue my online art career.
Hello, I'm Patrick from the UK. I've been playing
You
games
are from
for
the
over
UK,
a
Patrick.
decade, and I also co-host a podcast called Trick Talkers about card games.
It's
Grunling's fantastic
Did you make the game? Okay.
fruit.
I do think it's so funny, like you were saying. You have to pause for this, but that the most German woman you've ever said, hello, I'm German. And the most British one you've ever said, hello, I'm from the
It's
UK.
fun. We've balanced
Very
the game
funny.
with
It's like, yeah, dude, we know.
collection,
You
with
don't have to
thoughtful
say it.
choices, and we've acted on constructive feedback from playtesters to create something that both families and gamers will truly appreciate.
We are working hard to create the best possible game for you. With Patrick's knowledge from the previous Kickstarter and my experience creating an
Okay, that's pretty much the end of the video anyways.
Okay.
That's very sweet. That's very wholesome. That's a great
Yeah.
that's a great video. And it doesn't tell me that much about the game. I don't think it's going to win like best video of the night. Well, I don't know, it might depending on how the rest of these campaigns go, but I do like the
Yeah.
video.
Well, it
Yeah.
really tied into my pathos. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
psychologically, it got
Yes.
in me.
Yeah, it made me want to buy the game for different reasons than I normally walk away from a good video wanting to buy a game
Yeah.
for. That being said, what do we think it sells for?
Oh, the Grunlings. Well, I
How
have
much
to-
for
I have
the
to account for the-
Grunlings?
How much was a Grunlings? How much would you pay for one of my Grunlings? Accounting for the fact that it's going to be in euros because it's a German game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 20
Oh, 20s.
You think it's gonna be higher?
I
was gonna say 25 euros.
25 euros. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is that going to be like? Right around 28, 29, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
30 something maybe. I think it's going to be in the 30s. It's probably going to be a weird number. I think you're right. It's going to be euros first, converted to dollars afterwards. And so I'm going to guess like 34 or ish, somewhere in there. 1 million space bucks for the Grunlings, says Brian. Sold.
No price
To the highest
no price
bidder.
is too high for the Grunlings. Yeah.
A small price to pay for Grunlings. Okay. It is 29. About $33. We were both
Okay,
right that
you're
it
right.
is in euros. And
Yeah.
and there it is. 33. A fair price. Again, a small price to pay for Grunlings. I'm realizing I forgot to set a timer for this, so we're kind of going in blind here. But it feels like it's probably about time to start wrapping up. Let's take a quick look through the components list here. I love the artwork. The artwork really is nice. As far as the game goes, I don't really have much to say.
Trick-taking game?
Oh, is it trick-taking?
Maybe? I'm not sure, actually. Don't quote me on that.
The guy was talking about how he hosts a podcast about trick-taking games, but I don't know that it's it itself is a trick-taking. Although it makes sense. He's obviously pretty knowledgeable about it.
Brian
Rules,
says
how to
cute,
play
not really my style for the art. Well, guess what, Brian? You've been uninvited from our Grunling party, okay?
No! Brian can still come to the Grunling party. Here's the how to play video. Don't think we really have time to watch that. You get a free wallpaper?
I kind of want the wallpaper, gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that's very cute. That's very, very cute. Only 2 tier levels. I guess you can either get it in Dutch
You're either
or
getting
English.
Yeah,
or German.
Grunlings in English or Grunlings in German. So, well, there certainly wasn't a man speaking a different language with a different accent in the video after that. So, what we see is what we get.
I suppose so.
There's a German one and a British man, and those are the languages we're getting.
I like Grunlings. I like it a lot. I think the art goes a long way. I would love to support these people. They seem like very wholesome. I don't know. I just like the project.
Very good. Having optional add-ons that are just like a bunch of art and stickers and stuff. Like utilize the fact that you've got beautiful art.
Absolutely. Okay, that's Grunlings. I think is A a good spot for Grunlings? Would you say?
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it in S tier.
I wouldn't put it in S tier. The cards look fine. Like, there's no formatting issues with the cards. The art's obviously beautiful. We didn't get the most exciting sense of gameplay from it off the bat, but hey. And a very strong contender for the best art of the night.
Yeah,
depending on where things go.
I certainly could see that. Okay, cool. Well, that is Grunlings, everybody. Off to a nice start with their campaign. It does. Yeah. I do hate to see get stacked, surpassing Grunlings. It just feels like they're on the opposite ends of the care and effort spectrum.
Yeah,
feels like a lot more love went into Grunlings than into get stacked. But whatever. War of Whispers, Expansion of Influence. This probably we're not going to spend a lot of time on. Usually expansions. Well, no, it's an expansion. No. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it just says maybe expansion is part of the title. Actually, that could be the case. If it is, then maybe not the best way to title your game, but whatever. War of Whispers, Expansion of Influence. A new threat strikes from the sea. Who will be positioned to claim the advantage? Intriguing.
Okay.
71K in the bank. Plenty of backers.
Funded in less than an hour with $5,000 isn't too shabby. I know it's not a grand total of money, but to be funded for $5K in less than an hour, yeah. Right, it's like funded in less than an hour. Now I'm in.
Now I'm in.
As the various
clans
fight across the land, no one knows that it's you who pulls the strings.
Whoa.
You're the one making
cool board. Wait,
cool board.
I've played this before. I've played this game. the I'm sure the base version
There
of
are
it.
even more levers for you to pull, more devices.
I did not
for you
know
to
that that's what
utilize.
this game was.
There's even more ways for you to increase your expansion of influence. This is a modular expansion for the hit game War of Whispers. From
War
the
of
far off
Whispers.
islands, the Orca
Okay.
clan is now raiding the shore. Use your influence to control them like you would any other faction, but be careful as they award you no loyalty points at the end of the game. The new guild spaces add new ways to play and manipulate the board state. These allow you to place out ports, upgrade council spaces around the board, swap agents with each other, and more. And if you want to really change things up, flip the board over and play with one of the many scenarios given
Wow.
in the expansion. Or you can even draft out
Kinda
a
cool.
completely new board.
It is
so
cool.
The game
Yeah, I've played this game before. It was just like at a board game night that I was at. Somebody really wanted to play it, and so I sat down and.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fine. It was it's not my dream game, but for what it
Of course.
is, I think it's pretty good. There's a lot of like you're like choosing action sequences, and then you go around this circular board in order, and everybody takes their actions in that specific order. So it's all about like placing and you get to place 2 like action tokens on this thing, and you see how they're like sort of segmented into different colors.
Yeah.
So you get wherever your token is, plus however far back it goes before it reaches another player's token. You get all of those actions, and so you can like place it really high up and hope that nobody like comes in there and snags it from you, or you can like sort of place it in the middle to disincentivize other people from trying to get on that. So there's some like interesting decisions there, and then all of your actions are like manipulating this board and like controlling the armies and have them run around and do different things, kill each other, capture new land, yada yada yada. And then you've got like these. Not to explain the whole game in the middle of our Kickstarter Quest podcast, but you get these like secret tokens that you've placed on that are worth different values for you. So you want different clans to rank. You have like an order that you're trying to get the clans to rank in at the end of the game. And anyways, so it's a cool game. I didn't think Tabletop Tycoon was the one publishing this. I thought it was like Raven something games. So that's interesting. But yeah, expansion for that's $29. That's cool. You get a new board. The original board is just circular.
A new board. Yeah, a new board is cool for a game. I do also. I don't know the game like you do. Obviously, I like the like scenarios. Like I like having scenarios for a game like this, which usually it doesn't have anything like that. So
yeah, it's sort of straddling the line between like just a simple, not simple, but like a get in, get out strategy game, and like a campaign game that you could sort of return to and play through the different scenarios with your friends, and which is neat. Although I do think that that's like 2 different types of games for 2 different types of gamers. So I question a little bit how much overlap there is between people that just want to play this base game and want to come back to try all these different scenarios with it.
I do think it's funny.
ahead.
The one thing I will say of this game is really funny that they've made these like agent tokens that look like dark, sinister forces, and then they made the token color bright pink for them. Just like absolute Barbie pink for them.
Yep, that is pretty funny. Maybe we should get like imagine this game, but it's Barbie's Dreamland, and you're
Barbie Dreamland?
vying for control over Barbie Dreamland with your Barbie agents.
That would honestly go pretty hard, I think.
That could be funny.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that is a War of Whispers expansion of influence. This is hard to rank because there's not really that much new artwork or anything, or even like game mechanics that's gone into it. I feel like B is fair. Although, like, I don't know. I could see it going in A, too. Certainly not lower than B. I will say I don't think it's going to win anything on our list tonight.
Yeah, I would put it in B. That's my thought as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got plenty of columns filled out here. This is filling out nicely, I would say. So let's continue along and see if we can maybe get
What's
something in
next?
S and something in D. Get all of the rows covered tonight. Dice. Oh wait, no. Ashes Ascendancy is next. This
Yeah.
project I remember looking at a while ago, and they had
Yes.
like some interesting things to say about tariffs. So
Brian, let me tell you something. If you thought funding in an hour was crazy,
You're gonna love this.
Ascendancy got something for you.
You are gonna love this one. Let's watch the
I'm
video.
excited for the future of hyper-specific funded in under X minutes banner.
Yeah.
Funded in 42 seconds.
45 minutes is insane, especially with a goal of $50,000. $50,000 in 45 minutes is actually pretty
Hey,
nuts.
45.
Thrilling card battles. I do like card battles. This could be for me.
Yeah.
The next
Let's
era
see
of
it.
the Ashes saga. Let's see it.
With the Ashes Ascendancy starter set, there has never been a better time to start playing Ashes.
Ashes Ascendancy is the new starter set for the Ashes card game.
A key goal of the Ashes Ascendancy starter set is to have an on-ramp for new players.
With everything you need for competitive, solo, and cooperative play modes, the Ashes Ascendancy starter set is
Very
the
cool art.
perfect entry point for both new and established
Very Magic the
players.
Gathering.
Ashes
Is sure,
among
yeah.
the deepest and most exciting expandable card games ever made. But it's also a game that has never lost its respect for its players' time and money.
I wanted
that's
to
kind of it.
That
create
is
a game
nice.
that had a lot of accessibility
In before
to people that
$99
maybe
pledge.
loved TCGs
They got a
growing up,
cactuar in
but
the
didn't
background.
have the opportunity to,
Whoa.
be able to buy everything.
Very cool.
Ashes is an expandable card game, not a collectible card game, and that's very
He gets nerd
important.
cred for that one.
Every Ashes product comes
Yeah.
as a pre-constructed deck, so you're ready to play right out of the box.
There's no rare chase. There's no random booster pack.
Yeah, whatever.
There's
We
no
get it.
pay to win.
It's not the first. It's not innovative to have a card game that you get all comes in a box. That's not. I'm sorry, you guys weren't the first people to do that.
There's no
Yeah.
power creep.
In Ashes, you choose your starting hand, meaning you start every game with your best foot forward.
The first
Wow.
5 is Ashes' unique mechanic of choosing what you want to include in your starting hand at the beginning of the game.
That is kinda
So
crazy,
any
actually.
kind of strategy you want to imagine, you know you can start off with that.
I really wanted to incorporate that in the
All the
game
play
because
modes?
I wanted to make sure that
Bleh
you
for
never
me.
had to be in the situation where you had to mulligan
Brian's
or
thing, I guess.
not start off with the cards or see.
Brian,
your
have you
deck
seen the
really
cactuar in the
start
background? Does
seeing
that change
right
anything
from
for
the
you?
beginning.
Build magic from a custom pool of dice.
The dice and Ashes are the different types of magic in the world.
I don't know that we have time to watch this whole thing. I think they're just going to talk more about the unique mechanics. This is a good video. The music is maybe a little more intense than it needs to be. Oh, here we go. Let's watch this. I want to see this artwork.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
explore the limits of an ever-expanding world.
Ashes is really as small or big as you want to go.
There are so many ways you can expand Ashes
Oh,
if
never
you
mind.
want to go further than the starters.
Let's just do a little more scrolling through it.
Is there like a minute or so that talks about how it's played? Jesus. Wow, they really love to talk, don't they?
They are yappers. We got some yappers on our hands. No, I don't hate it. If I was interested in this game, and I am honestly kind of interested in this. If I wasn't in the
Yeah.
middle of a podcast right now, I would probably sit down and enjoy this whole video.
I
So I don't hate the video.
I think of my friend Charlie, who you know, who's like
Yep.
a top ranked Marvel Snap player, used to frequent Friday Night Magic, just like the biggest card game CCG person. And just what I've seen so far, I know that he would love this. He'd be so interested in it.
Yep. It seems cool. What do we think this box runs? I think
Ooh.
I think 39.
Yeah, I was gonna say 49. So
49. I could see 49 too. Yeah, honestly, you might be right on this one. I might have gone a little low.
I also know Plaid Hat. I own a couple of their games, and they make good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they make a lot of very
There it
thematic
is.
stuff.
You were $1 off. Very close though.
But their stuff is solid. Plaid Hat's work is solid.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they've got a print-on-demand version. That's kind of crazy.
Print on
Hold on,
where's
if you go to
that?
the left side, on the like in their little chapters at the bottom. Ashes when you want it, print on demand.
Oh, okay. Well, you can like print the cards out yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a lot of decks. Seems like there's plenty of content here, which is always something that a TCG player is looking for. Yeah, it seems cool. I mean, if you like trading card games, it's probably going to be your jam. It is my jam because I like trading card games. Setting that aside, I think the art goes pretty hard. I mean, it's nothing like revolutionary, but it's like very professional. Looks very nice.
Yeah.
So that's good. I thought they had a good video. I mean, Brian's saying that, you know, he's touched on something where it's an expansion edition, so they assume you know how to play. I think that is really who this campaign is for, is people that already
I think
played.
this is also. I think this doesn't have new cards in it. I think this is sort of like a.
Oh.
I think this is like the best of Ashes from what I could tell from it, and it seems to be like a jumping on point for people, as opposed to being a new thing for new people.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, I think we've seen enough here.
Yeah.
Why don't we rank it? Are you feeling A like I am?
Okay. Feeling A, yeah.
I agree. Should we have the tier lists or the tiers be ordered? So like, do we
Like
think it's better? No, like, do we think it's the top of A is the best game in A?
Yeah, I mean, it probably is. It probably is more put together than Grunlings, as much as I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I think I agree. Feels like a good spot for it.
Controversially, artistically, I don't think it's beating Grunlings.
Oh, we could talk about that later.
Okay.
We can certainly talk about that later. Alrighty, that is Ashes Ascendancy. And
yeah, I played. Sorry, I'm responding to Brian's comment. You can start going to the next one. I played Stuffed Fables and I liked it. I also played their DM-less RPG that they made, Mice and Mystics, where you play as like mice. It's very Brian Jacques Redwall, and I liked that a lot too. But I really like thematic trashy games. That is my weakness.
Your weakness.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
You're nothing if not honest.
Okay.
All right, Dice Mancy. This is another one that I looked at briefly before, and I have higher hopes for than most of the stuff on this list.
Mice and Mystics, Brian, is too tough. I had to read through the rule books like 3 times and then watch a YouTube video on it. And very famously, in the first edition of Mice and Mystics, which I own, there is a level that makes no sense. You arrange the map boards in a way that cannot be solved. And they had to release basically like a digital post that was like, yeah, we printed an unbeatable level in our manual. Here's how you fix it. Sorry. And that is a crazy thing to not see in production.
Wow. Incredible.
Game found, yay!
Yeah, don't get me started, dude. I'm not going there tonight. My least favorite board gaming website, Game Found.
Do you think, before we start this video, just looking at the art, do you think that at any point in this campaign we may see the words Ghibli-esque?
I would say that's a strong probably. Yes. That's very clearly what they're going for here. Let's have a look. Going to YouTube, folks.
What's up,
Who's ready to go to YouTube
April
world?
Campaign for Solo Game of the Month. Got another exciting title, a game that I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all of these. I mean, hopefully you know that by now.
Wait, is this it, or is this a different video?
About, or I didn't think it was.
No, this is it.
And so anyway, we have Dice Mancy, a game of just incredible.
This company, they do this Game of the Month thing, where I'm not quite sure what the deal is, but they all come in like these VCR shaped boxes. It's like a plastic box with a little insert sleeve. I assume that what they're doing is they're making these like sort of print on demand, and they're like ordering the VCR sleeves in bulk, and Yeah, the VHS cases in bulk, and then they've got like a standard insert that goes inside of it, and they're like ordering the cards and stuff from like a local print shop or something. I assume that's what this is.
I like the idea of a VHS row of games. I do think that's cute.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I think it's a neat concept. Just wanted to point that out.
But
It's not their
also,
only one
and I
that
have to
looks like that.
say, that man, even though he has a strong Southern accent, he did not tell me where he was from. So I'm docking points for him for that.
Yeah, we need to
For
know.
not saying.
You have to tell us. All right, let's continue. A 5-minute video. We're not going to watch this whole thing. He was also kind of rambling at the start of it, but so I suspect we're probably not going to spend too much time here. But let's just continue.
Incredible combos, card combos.
The art looks fantastic.
Trigger using dice and manipulating different things on the board. It is a solo tower defense game, and there's not that many of those. I was really thinking about this a few days ago. There's Kingdom Rush. There's a couple like decent ones, good ones even, but there's not a ton. And I was thinking about why, and it's because in a lot of ways, video games can do it better. There's just so many other things you can do.
Something we talk about all the time on this channel.
I'm going to figure this out. Instead, the designs. And if you've been around those...
How about you tell me how to play it?
Gameplay, or the
Does he ever talk about the game?
Below. Ed did an excellent job putting to play. Also this month, we have an add-on for Quests Over Coffee, and that was...
Oh my god! This is not even about the game.
Reach out to me because that game's been sold out for solo game of the month. A non-US backer. Me, and to worry about. We're going to get this figured especially
okay.
What is happening?
Every 15 minutes.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
This is a vlog. He just did a board game vlog, and that's the Kickstarter video. Whatever, not really what I want to see at the top of a campaign. But I guess it's better than.
Can we learn it? Can we learn anything about this game?
Yeah, that would be nice. I think at one point he said. Here's a link to the how to play video down below. So I think maybe that's not even what this video is supposed to be, but here's an idea. Maybe put the how to play video as the video at the top of the Game Found campaign. That would be my suggestion, maybe. But whatever.
All right.
To each his own. Here is Dice Mancy. Do we care about learning how to play this? Do I want to try to find that how to play video?
I want to look at it very briefly. I feel like we should give it a little once over. We don't have to go crazy for it. But
these guys rock. It's a solo game, tower defense style. You're rolling dice. You're building spell combos, and it comes in a VCR case, and it looks very Ghibli-esque. And that's sort of my takeaways so far. Got 48 spell slot monster cards. Yeah, that's pretty cool. 4 Castle Wall domino cards. I don't know that we really need to specify these are all domino cards. I get it. We got a jumbo character card, 6 of those, 6 spell cards. Yeah, so good components. Gameplay.
Assemble your wizards.
Construct your spells. Roll your dice. Okay, so this is kind of like a how to play. You're gonna assemble your wizards. You're going to construct your spells. Looks like there's some, like, you're turning them in different ways so that they like point at each other and assume this does something for you. And you roll dice to cast spells and trigger combos. So I roll this dice and I place it here, and it looks like that tells me that it's going to do this. Or if I place an even die here, it's going to do this, and then it's going to do this. And then if I had something else up here, it would do that too, but I don't have anything else up there. That's cool. That's a cool system. I don't think I've seen that before. So I do like that. You grow in power. It looks like whenever you defeat something, you flip their card over, and this is what you get.
Oh, okay. All right.
Defend your castle as enemies move and attack. So it looks like you kind of need to cover all of the different icons, and then you defeat the creature, and you have to clear them all before they attack your castle. We could just download the rulebook and read through that if we want real quick. Here's the how to play video. Okay,
I learned how to play.
Yeah, I guess we did just learn how to play. Probably we get it. I'm going to guess that's close enough. And then you can also add on Quests Over Coffee, which I also love the art style of. In fact, I'm thinking, is that just Isabelle from Animal Crossing on the cover of their game? Pretty close.
What's nice is with this game company, which you were saying that they do anything, on the left side they have a category called this month's designer and artist, so it looks like they hire a new artist for every game.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Yes, it is. I like that program quite a bit. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I like Dice Mancy. What can I say? I like it. Seems like a cool game. Love the process of working with new designers and artists each month. I think the format is cool, where you're like doing a small print run, probably print on demand thing here.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
But anyways, all good stuff for Dice Man. $25, not a bad price either. That's pretty budget friendly. And they've raised $50K, so good for them. Okay.
Good for them.
That is Dice Mancy. Let's rank it. What do we think? B?
Yeah, I was thinking B.
Top of B?
I put it top of B. Top of B. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Cool. We're on the same page here. Nice. Coming along nicely, I would say.
Almost halfway.
Almost, just about. All right, up next is Words to Die By. You write, direct, and act in hysterical death scenes, choosing their final words. I think this game will be bad.
I need to mentally prepare myself for the video that they're going to make me watch.
Lights, camera, die! It's a part
Actually,
game where everyone
the
dies.
duration of this one, sorry.
They really are hitting home on this die word. They like to include the word die in just about every sentence included with this game. Great, let's watch the video. Over under on time, I think it's gonna be way too long. This seems like a game that they would just make way too long of a video for.
Also, like a 60% chance they don't actually tell us anything about the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be 7 minutes long. Oh, 2.5. That's good. Also, better production value than I was expecting. Kind of a cute little vintage style.
Oh my gosh! Hey, oh, I didn't see you there. Oh my gosh, the place is a mess. You probably think I'm here to take your soul, right? I mean, everyone thinks that. It's so typical.
Okay, this is kind of funny. It's kind of a good video.
Good production value. Yeah.
Sorry about all the smoke. Listen, I'm not all doom and gloom. Thank you so much. I'm an artiste, a storyteller, a director of life's final acts.
Discovering your lifeless body floating in the tub, your partner screams.
This really is the best for both of us.
It's a party game like no other. Each round, you're given a random way to die, and you have to act it out. The more dramatic.
Okay, I don't love that.
It's part storytelling, part improv, and all ridiculous fun.
I text my mom that. I swear.
The video is way better than the game is. It seems like.
In this game, you don't just die. You go out with a bang.
Also, what is this retro set that they've rented for this?
I was wondering.
Out there. You wanna?
Brian's saying like paying for the gigantic Reaper thing too, like the little Oscar statue. I'm
yeah,
waiting for them to say if it comes with that.
They keep showing it. It looks 3D printed.
Here's your burrito, sir.
Did you make this one?
I did.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Tommy killed it. Yeah. That's a good take. That is a good. Go to two.
Trust me.
Okay, whatever. We've seen enough, I think.
Enough of this.
Funny video. Very well done video.
Yeah.
Game premise, I like kind of just don't care about. It's just a party game.
Brian's a crazy chat. The video is way better than the game is. Like it's a good video. Too
Wow.
much.
We really don't like the video, huh? I thought it was fine. I thought it was...
It's okay. Yeah.
Listen, what kind of a video are you supposed to make for this game? I assume...
Can you do me a favor quickly? Can you
Sure.
Can you give it a Control F and can you just type the word die?
12. Only
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
Which seems low. I would think there'd be a lot more of that in here.
Yeah.
Especially considering that's the title of the game, but whatever. What do you think this sells for? It looks like it's a small box. 19? Dude, if it's anything more than
Yeah.
19,
I was gonna
what
hope.
are we
I'm gonna
doing
hope
here?
15. I'm gonna hope 15, but I know it's probably 19. It actually all depends if it comes with the statue, which is probably like an upgrade. But
Okay. Words to Die By. Oh, it's $99.
don't talk to me. Don't even look at me. Get that shit out of here right
Why-
now.
Why do we need an Ultimate Edition for this?
Also, can we
Anybody
talk
want
about
that?
that
The
one
base
of the
game is 30.
expansions? Can we
Sorry,
talk about that
go
one of the
ahead.
expansions of the $99 is scroll up a second? Arbor Day Deaths. You couldn't think of anything better than Arbor Day Deaths. Not Christmas deaths, not Thanksgiving
Yeah,
deaths.
we've got some other...
Arbor Day deaths.
Yeah. Certainly interesting. You
Best
do
holiday there is.
you do get the Golden Scythe Award statue with this version
Do
of
I
the
get
game.
it in base
so-
game?
Certainly not. Oh, you get the award card, not the statue. With the base game, and it's still $30.
How much more do I have to pay to get the award? How much more?
Oh,
there it is.
$20.
$20
Wow, wait,
more.
$20 more? I guess that's all the extra stuff they get. Although this is the same picture as the Ultimate Edition. What's different?
That one doesn't have the 4 expansion packs listed.
But it has them up here. That's a misleading image, I think. I think they probably just have the wrong image here.
Yeah.
Whatever. You do get the golden
Okay.
statue with that. Get a signed edition if you want. You guys got a nice
For only
signature.
$200.
Golden card binding. We don't need to look at this. We get what it is. Oh, it's digital too.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, this game is adult AF.
Only adults know what AF stands for. That's why we abbreviate it.
Actually, crazy that last week that Capybara game had a not safe for work expansion, but this game somehow doesn't have a not safe for work expansion to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never like these kind of games. It always relies entirely on
No, I
like
hate
how
them.
funny your
I
friends
hate them.
are, and
Yeah.
no one likes to play in that competition. I think this game is getting a D. Oh,
Ooh, okay. I was gonna give it a low C. I
A
don't
low
think it's
C?
awful. Yeah.
yeah. Certainly, we've seen worse games on the channel than Words to Die By, but
Yeah.
I'll put
You
it in
wanna put
C
it
for
halfway?
now.
You gotta put it in between.
Go like that.
C minus. Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
It's got and I think it would appreciate this. It's got one foot in the grave. You know.
There we go. Dang, you're a natural.
Thanks.
I bet you'd kill at this game.
Yeah, you want to make a party game together? You want to make a absolute cringy party game?
That would be a funny like April Fool's Day thing.
Oh my god.
Now announcing.
All right, we'll talk. We'll talk.
All right, Lonely Karen. I don't think we're gonna care about this at all, but let's have a look.
What are you talking about? I'm always asking for a game about the 1800s polar expedition to discover the fabled Northwest Passage. I'm always talking about it.
Oh, what are these cards?
Those,
Why
you know
is-
what those cards look like? They look like the very first Magic the Gathering cards.
Maybe a little bit, although I think that's sort of a
Still too much of a kindness for it.
yeah. It's a little insulting to the early Magic the Gathering cards. This is just like, why is this guy doing the Patrick Bateman stare at me? This game has made $4,000 of their $300 goal. Is it print and play? Is that what this is?
No, they just knew.
Okay, they just knew they weren't gonna. Okay. There's no video, by the way. No video at all.
I don't need it. It's fine.
Solo game, 20 to 30 minutes. Low complexity and historical. Okay. I don't know that Lonely is a title that I want in my board game.
Yeah, well, because you're playing it by yourself, so you're lonely.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're
You're
a
not
lonely
just
guy.
alone. You're also lonely. You were playing it by. If you were playing it by yourself, if you're playing any card game by yourself, you're playing it alone. But if you're backing and playing a card game about the historical finding of the Northwest Passage in the Franklin expedition, you're lonely. They know who they're marketing to.
Made by Catastrophe Games. This is their 10th game that they've done. They focus on historical gaming.
121 games, which is a crazy number of games.
I think it's the highest we've seen of any of these Kickstarters. First of all, let's see how much the game is. It should be like $19.
Yeah, I agree.
But we haven't seen any components list for it at all, so it really is impossible to say. Maybe we should scroll down and see the components list first before we.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 10 locations, 36 encounters, 27 supply cards, 3 status cards, and markers. Yeah, it's $20. $20, $25, somewhere in there.
I like your little ship cutout.
Yeah, you like that? That is kind
very
of nice.
geometric.
$30.
Whoa.
Sure, whatever. It's saved a little bit by this being the only tier available. I do like when I see that. But okay, actually this art is kind of nice.
Yeah. Scurvy.
Gross. I don't want to see a card like that.
It kind of has like a PS1 graphic style to it. It's very strange. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay. I think I know what you mean here. Yeah, upon closer inspection, the art is nicer than what I thought it was up here. I can't really tell what's going on with these images. It looks like they've put like a stroke around it. They put a white stroke around all the cards. It doesn't look like these cards have that. Or even a black.
It could be. It could be, but they're the same color. Oh, I guess not, because those cards are too spaced together.
Yeah. Anyways, better than I thought. I don't know that I would say that these cards look low complexity to me, though. It seems like there's quite a bit of text going on each of these. So that's... Whoa, we have an official National Geographic endorsement here?
No, I feel like that's just going to link to an article by National Geographic.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. There is a stretch goal. We will switch from print on demand to a traditional print run. This will provide a fully printed box and insert and upgraded card quality. I guess I'm not quite sure what's going on here then. Are we at 200? No, we're at 87 backers.
No.
So it looks like that's probably not coming together. So they're printing it on demand then, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Well.
Yeah.
There you go. Lonely Karen.
Cool.
I mean, it's one of those games. It's not really for either of us, I don't think. Not our types of games. It's hard to say.
A C, perhaps?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's in C tier.
It's
Certainly
still
not
better than
D
Words
tier.
to Die By.
Yeah. I think so.
Still-
Also, this is not reflective of the art that's on the cards, which is a little bit weird.
No, it is almost certainly an actual illustration from like the 1800s about the ships, yeah.
Which, yeah, I feel like they had better
I
art
love
than
that.
this to use on the cover of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go like this, I think. Oops, not like that.
Ooh. Put a little tilt on it?
Yeah, put a little spin on it. There we go, like this. That should be
there
all
you
right.
go.
What do you think? Is it better than Get Stacked? I kind of don't even think so.
No.
Get Stacked at least had some interesting ideas. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's see our next game. We've got Dungeon Crawl, which is an insane thing to name your board game.
Oh yeah, this is like, what did we have last week? We had another game.
It was called Fairy Tale,
right? Oh, Fairy Tale, yeah.
Yeah, Fairy Tale the board game. And now we have Dungeon Crawl. It's ambitious, I'll say that. Very ambitious.
Fellas, I might not know about, people can come into the chat anytime they want, and they can say, I question how much Arel knows about making a game. And I couldn't argue with them. I'd be completely right. But I have done enough marketing and sales in my life to know a little bit about SEO. And naming your game Dungeon Crawl or Fairy Tale is awful. There is a reason that people name their game something like Dungeon Crawl : Escape from the Cellar or whatever, and it's because those other words will really help you in the long run with a generic title.
Yep. That being said, they have raised 17.5K of their 10K goal, 200 backers. Respectable stats. The box looks
certainly
fine. Certainly a board game box. It's not doing anything crazy for him, but it looks better than some other stuff that we've seen. So let's watch the video and see where this gets us.
Roman House Games presents Dungeon Crawl.
Let's maybe turn the
designer
reverb down a little
Josiah
bit
Christensen.
on this.
This cooperative turn-based, card-driven, backstabbing, engine-building game plays 1 to 5 players in 30 to 45 minutes. Players are daring adventurers who need to reach the end of a dangerous dungeon alive.
Okay.
Dungeon Crawl.
These guys are way
includes
too
over
animated.
90 unique illustrated cards.
Nobody gets that
Each of
excited over
which will
rolling
be an
dice.
integral part in your survival.
We point fingers at each
Similar
other
to
all the time
games
when we
such
play
as
games.
Munchkin and
You do that?
Dungeons and Dragons. Players
Whoa,
will
it's like
progress
Munchkin
throughout the
and
dungeon
Dungeons
by
and
defeating
Dragons?
4 random monsters. After
those
each
games
monster,
are not
players
alike
will
at
get
all.
the chance to rest, heal, and collect loot cards. Players will grow in power and wealth until they
I'm just
defeat the last
imagining
monster. The winner is decided
the,
in one of 2 ways.
The
player
target
with the most
fan here,
coins,
the person who
or
loves Dungeons
with
and Dragons
one final
and Munchkin.
battle. The choice is yours.
And
Dungeon Crawl scales easily from 2 to 5 players.
I don't think I would
with a 1-player variant and the addition of D20
like that
cards
person
to
very
add
much.
an extra twist to your games. Dungeon Crawl adds a tactile element to
You're
the
right.
table with
It's my
6
two
players,
favorite games, Dungeons and Dragons
12
and
player
Munchkin.
tokens, 5
Yeah, the
hit
person
point
that loves Dungeons and Dragons and Munchkin has exists and they've already backed words to die by. I want you to know that.
Whatever. Okay.
Okay. I didn't learn it.
It's a whatever video. We did kind of talk over it the whole time, but
whatever.
Honestly, have a more entertaining video, and then we won't do that.
If they don't want us to talk over it, they should be more exciting.
Yeah. Okay. What do we think it costs? $30.
Oh God.
$40.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
35, and it is 55 for one copy of the game.
Whoa, mama! Can I just say?
Pretty steep. Pretty steep.
Yeah. There was nary a thing in that box that made me think that this game is worth $55.
No. There's exactly one game on my refuse to play list right now, and it's called Munchkin. Yeah.
I also strongly dislike Munchkin.
This chat is a safe place for Munchkin haters. You're allowed to trash Munchkin.
I don't think there's a single person here that likes Munchkin.
As much as you want.
And you know what? I would say I've met Steve Jackson of Steve Jackson Games in my time in the industry. Extremely wonderful man. One of the nicest. Actually, everybody that works at Steve Jackson Games, a treasure, a delight. I'd hang out with them any day of the week. I would never play Munchkin with any of them.
That's who makes Munchkin? Steve Jackson Games? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this really just isn't doing anything for me. It looks too complicated, and $55 is
also I don't like
kind of a crazy
I don't like
price
the
point.
cards. I don't like any of the cards.
The cards look kind of bad. I'll tell you what's rubbing me the wrong way about them is the aspect ratio of the artwork at the top. It's too narrow.
Yeah.
I want more space
Yeah.
for the artwork to breathe on the card.
Well, it's like they always say professionally that the best way to make a card is with exactly 15% of the card being dedicated to the art and no more.
Sure. Also, this border is huge. Why is the border that big?
Yeah. That's just how it's supposed to be. Big border, that's what they always say. The bigger the border, the smaller your text has to be.
You know what they
And
say
that's
about
always a
big
good thing.
borders?
Okay.
Whatever. I don't think we're gonna
Whatever.
care about this
Whatever.
more, no matter how much we look
Whatever.
at it. I keep scrolling, and I keep hoping that there's gonna be something in here that catches me. But yeah, I just don't think it's
This
gonna
game
be
looks
for
like
me.
it came out. This game looks like it came out in 2003.
Yes, you're so right. Yes, that's what it is. It just looks like an outdated board game.
Yeah. Like once I went to a board game cafe and a friend and I played like obviously board game cafes, the games that they give you are not like pristine copies of games, and we played a first edition of I don't even know. Is it San Juan or Puerto Rico?
Sure.
I can't remember the name of the game. But yeah, I think the game was from like 2004 and all the pieces looked like this. Like everything. It's just maybe they're going for it deliberately, but yeah. It's not really drawing me in now.
Yeah. The price point's kind of outdated too.
Yeah, the price point is insane.
Now that I'm thinking about it, if it was like 2010 or whatever, 2005, and this game came out and was on a board game shelf, I think $55 might be actually the correct price point for it. It seems like games were a lot more expensive back then, so maybe that's what they're going for. It's a blast to the past in every part of the experience, straight down to the price that you pay for it.
Authentic artistically to economically.
Yeah. All right. That is Dungeon Crawl. Incredibly SEO unfriendly name for
I have an
a
answer
game
for what
that
letter I
desperately
want to put it in.
needs some. Yeah, you do.
I do.
I'll let you take the lead on this one.
I think it's a D.
You think it's a D? Wow.
Yeah, you don't think it's a D? I can be kind. I can be kind. We can move it up to a C.
If this is a D, then Words to Die By is certainly also a D.
You're right.
I don't think Dungeon Crawl is any worse than
No,
Words
you're
to
right.
Die By. But I wanted to put Words to Die By in D. So
All right. You know what?
They're both down there?
happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is no F on this tier list. Tier lists usually have an F tier as well. I thought that would be a little bit mean to put board games
I
in
think
F
that's too
tier.
mean.
So I think
I agree.
with
I don't
that
want an F.
added context, that we're not putting them in F. They're still
I think
like
Dungeon Crawl was a proverbial crab in a bucket, and it brought Words to Die By down with it. So
Sure.
it made us kind of redirect the whole thing.
Yeah. Plus now we've got 2 in every tier. So there's
Yeah, it's
some
really
symmetry
nice.
to
But
that.
nobody's gotten a fabled S tier.
No S tier yet.
And I stand by it. I'm not gonna say that any of these should go into S tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what would be a game that would go in S tier? What's a Kickstarter campaign that we've looked at that would be an S tier? Points Galaxy, maybe?
Points Galaxy. Honestly, that one that we looked at that was that Tom Vassal was really mean to. Was like super sleek and knew what it was and was like an 18 card game. Like I put that in S tier. Like anything that knows what it is and has the art to back it up. Like that's what you want in a game.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so they are out there. We would give S tier to something if it deserved it. But yeah, you're right. Nothing has deserved it yet.
E for Dungeon, D for Die.
Sure. Brian says, I'm not sure I'd even put any in A tier this week.
I think that's fair. I think,
I could see a case being made for both of these being moved down to B tier. And them all being sort of reoriented around that. I don't know. Part of me feels like there's sort of a subjectivity that goes into tier list making where you're like not only trying to place things correctly, but also place them relative to everything else on the tier list. And so, given that,
like
that's sort of why they're in A tier.
Saying what we think that the cost of a game should be is as objective as we can get. right? Like gameplay, if gameplay is fun or not, that's subjective to the person. If art is good or not, that's subjective from person to person. So, when looking at any game, when looking at any piece of art, and board games are art, as a whole, there's only so much objectivity that you can get with grading something, and the rest of it just comes down to personal preference.
Yeah. Yep, totally agree. And also, if we were making like a board games of all time tier list right now, obviously these tiers look totally different. Groundlings is not going in A tier for like all of the games that I've ever played.
Yeah.
Nor is Dice Mancy in B or any of this. I mean, these probably all go in F tier. I'm not playing those.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of, I think an important piece of context to keep in mind for this list is that it's sort of just for this week. How good are the games this week, and comparing them all against each other. So, anyways, let's keep it moving here. Let's see our next game. We only have 3 left, and the next one is Kilauea. How would you pronounce this, Arel? What do you think about this?
I'm trying to think of how to
here?
say it, because I know that this is a big out for me. I used to play Smite, which is like an F tier MOBA, and Pele used to scream the name of this volcano. It's C tier. It is C tier, yeah. Pele used to scream the name of this volcano when she would ult. And I think it's like
this one?
Kilauea, yeah.
Well, let's watch the video and maybe they'll tell us. Also, we're on GameFound, so we're immediately losing points for that. But
okay.
Hello everybody, my name is
Let's
Ilya.
see.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kavri, a couple that loves to play board games.
Today we'll be teaching you how to play Kilauea.
Kilauea is
Kilauea.
by Farron Renali
Nice.
and David Bernal. It's published by Combo Games, who helped sponsor this video.
Let's go to the table and let's learn how to play.
Oh, so this is not the company that makes it. This is just a how to play channel. That's fine,
Which is
honestly.
nice, yeah.
Yeah. Means they're going to do a good job showing us how to do
You'll
this.
then place 2 holy stones in the center of the volcano. You'll then proceed by filling up all the spaces on the volcano with a tiki of the corresponding color. After this, you'll
How long is this? 7 minutes. We're not going to watch this. Let's skip the game overview, watch that, and then call it a
Can
day.
you raise the volume a little bit on it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
quiet.
On your turn, you'll advance a canoe and perform 1 main action.
Oh, it actually is just a
You'll
little
do
bit
all of
quiet.
this to score the most points by collecting and
No
placing
worries.
tikis on the volcano.
I like the
and on
tikis.
your island.
Yeah,
Let's run
agree.
through a player's turn. You'll start your turn by advancing your canoe. Now you must move at least 1 space. You can optionally move additional spaces equal to the number of free tiki spaces in your canoe. The lighter you are, the more that you can move. Additionally, you can
Okay.
move extra spaces by offering holy stones to the volcano.
Okay.
For each additional space moved, you must place 1 holy stone onto the volcano. After moving, you'll perform 1 main
Okay.
action. You'll have 3 to choose from: cutting down tikis from the forest, placing them onto the volcano. or
This is
placing them
pretty
on the
chunky.
island. Let's go through them. Cut down tikis from the forest. You can take 1 or 2 tikis from the forest where the canoe pond is currently located and place them in your canoe. Now, tikis taken have to be accessible. What this means is that all the paths to them have to be open
Oh, I
for
see.
you to be able to take them. Your canoe also must have space. If all
That's
4
interesting.
spots are filled, you can
Yeah.
take this action. After taking this action, you may choose to take an optional secondary action provided.
I'm just looking at like that action list on the like player boards that they keep pointing to, and that's sort of frying my brain a little bit.
You'll move the
Yeah.
volcano tile to the corresponding
Brian says, my favorite of the week so far. And you know what, Brian?
That
For
makes
you,
sense.
Makes sense.
It's a lot
And
of
not in a
sense.
derogatory way at all. Like,
No, this feels like
you
a solid
a-
game.
You like a meaty strategy game,
Yep.
and I respect it.
Help maneuver tikis in various ways so you can score the most points at the end of the game. These can be extremely beneficial to your strategy, so keep an eye on where they're located so you can plan your canoe movements wisely. If you have questions about particular tiles, feel free to ask them in the comments below, or reference your handy secondary action guide.
That's a lot of
Now
actions.
onto the second. Feel free to
Okay.
ask them.
Should we kind of? Jeez. Oh yeah, you're right. Should we look at some other stuff on the?
Yeah,
campaign?
yeah, yeah. What do we think this
Oh, wait, maybe,
runs for?
maybe hang on, because it's got multiple tabs on the thing. So does it have its own video? Actually, I don't want to discount it. Not. Okay.
That was how to
I
play. That's what we just watched. I don't.
Yeah, I didn't know if it had its own like
Yeah, campaign video. I don't think so, but honestly, that's a good
fine.
substitute. That's
fine.
acceptable substitute for a campaign.
I'd rather you do the thing where you get sponsorship from a YouTube channel that plays board games and they walk me through how to play the game. And like, listen, it's a complicated game, but they're walking me through it in a clear and concise manner. You know, and I can't complain about that because that's the thing that we complain about all the times is we don't know how to play the game. And if I felt like I was interested in that game, I would watch that video to know how to play.
Yeah, that's not something we can. That's not a criticism we can levy against this game. So points for it, for that space. So, $10K in the bank, 300 backers. So I guess
this game was also, I believe, the sponsored game on Crowdfunding Countdown last week when we did this video.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We did ours. Yeah.
Good to note. Let's scroll down. What do you think it costs? $50?
Yeah, it's got a lot of tikis.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're made of, but
somewhere between 40 and 50.
Printed on them. Yeah, my guess would be 50.
No way.
Oh,
27 euros.
Yeah, I mean that's only like $32.
Yeah, that's a great price.
Whoa.
Yeah,
$30. $30.50 American.
Wow. Okay. That's huge, honestly. That's like almost cheap enough that I would consider picking it up as somebody who isn't usually into this kind of game.
Yeah.
So, major points in that column. Lots of lots of testimonials here. It just keeps going. That's very nice to see. Goes a long way.
Why back now? Best price? Certainly so.
It's a great price.
International shipping. Support a small indie publisher. Files are ready. Make the
Files
game
are ready.
bigger and better. Files are ready. I'm always saying that.
Gamers. Files
I mean, also
are
a retailer
ready.
pledge to get 6 copies of the game for $120. That's crazy.
Yeah. Truly. Wow. All right. Well, I don't know that there's really that much more to look at here. But I like what I see.
Right, so, damn, I wish it was back and stuff right now. That's a good price. It is a good price. We're aghast.
It really is.
We're agog.
Okay. Well, that is Kilawe. I hope I pronounced that right. I know they did say it in the video, but I kind of forgot.
They said it, and I also completely forgot it. It's okay.
A? We think an A for this?
I was gonna say I was gonna say because of the price and the art and the components, I would say maybe A straddling S.
Ooh,
maybe
straddling
like
S.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can put it at the top of A. That's fine.
I'll put it at the top of A. Let's put it at the top of A.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. It does feel like there's something here. There's some momentum here. It feels like a real game that could really
It feels like the most real game.
Yeah.
It feels the most like a game, which Brian is considering the ranking tier. We'll go back to this comment. S, I'm backing, or what if I could? A, I'd strongly consider backing. B, looks good but not going to back. C, not backing but sees the appeal for other people. D, nope. I'm more like thinking an S tier for me personally. An S tier game is something that I look at and I go, I could go next month, 6 months from now, a year from now, into my local board game store, or hell, even like a Barnes and Nobles, and look on their shelves and see that game and go, yeah, I'm not surprised. And this is the first game that I'm thinking, like, I could see it on a board game, at a board game shop, like taking up valuable shelf space and go, yeah, makes sense to see it here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to bump it up to S?
Yeah, nah, we could leave it at A.
Okay.
It's fine leaving it at A.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's keep moving. I've got some thoughts about...
Yeah.
We'll come back to this list at the end of the video, though. And
we'll talk about it.
We'll make some changes. But we got 2 more games to look at before we do that, so let's keep things moving along here. We've got Hub World, Eidolon. Use cunning and deception to secure your opponent's agents and grow your network.
Good.
That is a huge amount of
Yeah, is
money
this an
to only be
expansion?
138% funded.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. I didn't think about that.
Let's have a look. But that's sort of a head scratcher right off the bat. We're back on GameFound. Oh, this art rocks actually. That's
Yeah, whoa.
that's
Yeah,
really cute.
Here's what I do have to say. GameFound has been consistently bringing in a lot more money than Kickstarter has for this campaign.
That's true. Yes.
I mean, there's no question about it.
I wonder if that's because it seems like GameFound is more tailored to the European audience. It seems like when European games launch, more often than not, it's on GameFound, whereas Kickstarter is more of a United States thing.
Yeah,
and I wonder if more people are just buying games in Europe right now than they are in the United States, just based off of economic realities and stuff. So, wonder if that could have something.
Yeah,
to do with
I mean,
it.
certainly so. I think you're onto something. Should
Good
we
looking
look at the
stuff.
video?
GameFound is taking the board game market from Kickstarter. Yeah, I hate that. But you're right. It is true. It does seem like GameFound's sort of the new place to back board games. Yeah, let's have a look at the video. And wow, this looks really nice.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Andrew Fisher from Earthborn Games, and today we're super excited
Earthborn
to show you our
Games.
brand
I
new
feel
card
like I
game
have
called
seen
Eidolon is a
something from them
non-collectible
before.
card game of espionage, daring, and deduction for 2 to 4 players. Today I'm joined by Corey DeVore. Corey is one of the designers of the game alongside Michael Boggs, and he's going to show us the rules today.
Thanks, Fisher. So what we have here are 2 Eidolon preview decks. You'll be able to get these from teamcovenant.com for the price of shipping. So free for the price of shipping while supplies last.
Team
We'll have a
Covenant,
link in
I
the
know them.
description,
I used to
link on our
watch their
website,
podcast
but
all the
that's
time.
teamcovenant.com. So these are not final decks. They don't have final graphic design or final card templates, but they're going to work just fine.
And I
for
think
learning
that's
the game,
also
trying
where
the
I know
game out,
Earthborn
and for the
Games
future,
from.
of course. So let's
I think
get
they
into
covered
the
something
overview
from
of the
them
game.
at some point.
So we play as Seekers, and our goal is to delve into our opponent's territory. And like, for example, Fisher, you'll be delving into my territory, and you'll be coming down through my grid and into my deck, my hand.
We're not going to
my
watch a
discard,
17-minute how to play
looking
video.
for agent
No,
cards.
certainly not.
And
Can we see some? Let's just look for artwork here. I love this. This is really good.
mean,
For some
insane.
reason,
Incredible.
the cover art is not nearly as good as I think I looked at
No.
like the Board Game Geek page for this when I was grabbing box covers, and this really
Awful.
did not inspire much at all.
It's not awful, but it's not inspiring. Yeah, that's a good word.
It looks really flat. The colors are really flat. I'm assuming this is going to be like foil or something in the final version. This is going to be like a gold foil. That would look kind of cool. But yeah, let's get some of the artwork on here. Don't show me like this
Yeah.
generic sci-fi line art schematic background. We can do a lot better than that, I think. Anyways, Eidolon. Yeah, my opinion on this has changed pretty significantly after clicking on the
Non-collectible
thing.
competitive card game, 2 to 4 players.
It is $130. I guess that's for like this big tier.
Well, that's yeah.
What's the cheapest we can get it for? We can get 2 decks for $20.
$20. Okay. Well, what if I want? Okay, the
The
full set
basics
is
is
$80.
All right.
It's not cheap, but it's not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate
It's not
it.
cheap.
Yeah, the price isn't like something that's making me want to buy it more. But it's also not making me want to buy it less. I guess I'll put it that way. Let's go back. Well, wow. I mean, that is just really nice.
The art's gorgeous. Yeah.
Artwork. It really reminds me a lot of it's sort of the Letter Games art style, but taken to the next level. I feel like where they got like this really fun watercolory. Maybe it's just reminding me of Arcs a little bit because it's like this space
really
age
pretty.
type thing. But yeah, it is. I think this is gonna
Brian
be my
says,
vote for.
Brian, are you talking about Earthborn Rangers or this game? Brian says it's also listed as a 2027 game on Board Game Geek.
Whoa!
Wow. it really is futuristic.
Yeah,
in the sense
seriously.
that you won't have it for the considerable future. Wow, this game. Okay. Jeez.
This is so nice. Crazy.
Yeah, the
Okay.
art's gorgeous. Components look really nice.
I like the premise too. It seems like it is a trading card game, except I guess living card game is the term that most
Yeah.
people use for this. Or maybe it's just
Non-collectible
Fantasy
trading
Flight
card game.
games that uses that. But yeah, you buy the box and it comes with all the cards that you're going to need, and then you take that and you build your own deck and play it against other people. So
Yeah.
I like that format quite a bit. Of course, I am a trading card game guy. Trading card game guys are eating good this week. We've gotten a couple,
Yeah.
like two of the highest games on our tier list have both been trading card game adjacent games. So that's pretty cool. We do like to see that. Yeah, not much else to say here. It looks like fantastic production quality, fantastic artwork. I assume the game is good. We don't really know that much about the game, but the idea that it's like sort of a espionage, we're infiltrating each other's bases, and I mean, I could get into that.
Yeah, certainly so.
Really, the artwork is stealing the spotlight here. That's the main thing that I'm focusing on, at least. So cool. Yeah. Is this our S tier?
Yeah.
It's certainly A tier. I would even say top of
It's
A.
certainly A. Yeah.
I could see putting it in S. I'm obviously a little biased, just because.
Yeah, me personally, I would say if you put this game S tier, then we put Kilauea second S tier. But I'm okay with this being at the top of A tier.
Yeah. Man, the OCD part of me does want to make these two S tier, so that we've got two in every tier,
All right,
and then just end the stream there.
There's not one more game tonight. We actually lied to you.
Well, yeah, this is all the games. I don't even want to look at the last game, guys. It's going to be another stinker,
No, I
I'm
think
pretty
it's a
sure.
cringy party game. We have to look at it.
Okay, fine. Wow, that is really nice, though. That is really, really... And now these numbers make a little more sense, because I imagine it's an extremely expensive project to get off the ground. And, yeah, good for them. Very cool. Very, very cool. Certainly my favorite thing we've looked at tonight.
I think you'll find, and maybe you'll agree with me on this, or because I know that you're somebody who cares very deeply about the art of your games and having good art, that it's one of those things where, like, it is genuinely costly to hire a really good artist to make a bunch of different art pieces for your game. That is not a debate at all. That's just the truth of the matter. But also, sometimes those results speak to themselves when people immediately look at the art on your cards or on your board or whatever and go, wow, this is beautiful. I want to keep looking at it and play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if the game is good enough, it justifies spending money on artwork, really, really cashing out on the artwork. I think there is something to be said for, like, knowing... like the weight class that your game is swinging in, and sort of spending accordingly on the artwork. Like, I don't think it makes sense for what's the game called? The dying one, Words to Die By. Like, if Words to Die By just happened to have incredible art on the cards, I don't think that really changes my mind on it too much.
The more time you're going to be spending looking at the cards, the nicer you want the cards to look.
Yeah, that's probably true. Concordia is one of my favorite games since I got into the hobby. Clearly, art doesn't have as big of a pull for me. What is Concordia?
I don't know, actually. I mean, I've heard of Concordia, but I couldn't tell you what Concordia looks like.
2013. Oh, it looks fine. I see what you're saying, though. It's not like...
It's not crazy. But
whoa,
hello.
That's way too big. Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't say that this is... I would call this, like, this is fine art.
Fine. It's fine.
I see what you're saying, though. The art is not, like, the draw for this game. And maybe there's something to be said for, like, yeah, the art doesn't make me want to play this more, but it doesn't make me want to play it less. And there's people like Brian out there. And, if I played this game and really loved it, the art is, like, good enough that it's not going to make me like it less. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So maybe you don't need good art. But I think in the same way that, like, a good game really makes you want to come back to the experience over and over again, good art also kind of does the same thing. I guess the game has to be good first. Like, I wouldn't play a game that it's like a mid game, but the art is fantastic, so I keep coming back to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting to think about, though.
Yeah.
We are getting a little off topic, though. Let's look at our last game of the night.
One last game.
Mankind Madness. Prejudices, dark humor, and lots of schadenfreude. Wow.
Oh man, Brian, this sounds like a you game. Brian, tune in, bud.
What do you mean? What part of this sounds like a Brian game? You're joking.
Yeah, I am joking.
Okay.
Funded in 85 minutes!
Holy smokes! 85. That's a buy. That's an instant buy for me.
That's greater than 1 hour, but still less than an hour and a half.
Should we have a separate joke award on this for fastest funding?
Yeah, fastest funding.
That could be good. All right, let's watch the video. I already can tell I'm not going to care about this at all.
Where did 90 years of monopoly get us? Skyrocketing housing prices and living costs. Isn't it time for a change?
No.
Mankind
I'm 100% sure I'd rather play Monopoly.
For 2 to 8 players.
I was not expecting this
with dark humor,
That's true.
And a perfect blend of chaos and strategy.
Okay, the idea of there being... Okay, seeing like the globe map on this with like tokens on the different countries is sort of lending a new context to the word prejudices that they keep throwing out there over and over again.
I'm seeing like Saudi Arabia, India, South Africa. I'm seeing like China. I'm seeing all these countries. I'm really nervous something is going to be said in this video that's going to be unforgivable. I'm like really nervous right now. I'm like double checking Twitch's streaming terms and conditions right now. Like,
is this going to be the first racist board game that we've looked at on the channel?
Create your character and draw a nationality and ideology. The ideology
boy.
is visible to everyone and gives you a unique ability and
Oh, we're playing with fire here.
Featuring the politician.
Okay.
The flat earther. The prepper. And Dr. Doom.
This is... Okay. We're skipping ahead. Okay, I guess that's all the costumes, actually. Did we really need, like, a 30-second costume bit, though?
Begins the game. Your nationality card stays hidden and is known only to you. The first player to reach their home country with 6 points wins the game. Score points by visiting cities on the map. Use your powerful prejudice and action cards as you go. Wall them in, nuke somebody back to the Stone Age, or even sell their kidney.
I'm going to steal your kidney.
Hold up! You can even use quick effects to turn an opponent's actions against them.
Instant karma.
No, not my kidney!
But beware.
Alright, I'm sorry guys, I can't watch any more of this. I really can't watch any more of this video.
Tier above S tier? Because I think we found it tonight.
Jeez, that is... I thought the
S++.
I thought the Get Stacked video was cringy. This is really giving the Get Stacked video a run for its money here.
He didn't do anything. Let's listen. All I am saying is that this game is full of stereotypes and weird cultural taboos and things like that. I know a very famous stereotype that offends many German people that say that German people have no sense of humor, that they're actually very bad at making jokes. And I am, ashamed to say that in addition to all the stereotypes presented in the video itself, it is still, that stereotype still holds true. It holds true. Literally nothing about this is funny. Yeah, sorry, Germany. My condolences.
935 backers. They can't be wrong.
Life is crazy because, like, one country could give you Grunlands 1 minute and then Mankind Madness the next. You know what I mean? This world truly is unpredictable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm
He
really
won
speechless.
the Games Festival Munich Gamespreis 2023.
Maybe this is just a game by German people for German people.
I think it might be what it
maybe
is.
we just don't get it, Arl.
It might not be for
We
us.
considered we're not German enough for this.
Brutally honest global satire.
With
that
abysmally
raises
dark
awareness.
humor.
Abysmally dark humor.
Hey,
Well, one of
minimal
those is-
plastic.
That's quite nice. You know, hey.
That's very conscious of them, environmentally conscious.
Mankind.
What I
Oh my
didn't
God, wait,
expect.
scroll up. I gotta read. Mankind Madness will blow your mind, make you cry and post on X again, question your mind, body, and soul, call your mother, laugh your guts out, sweat blood and tears, feel guilty AF. What does it say that this is a second game that we've had this week that has AF in its description? And in the end, make you want to do it all over again. I mean, could you think of anything better?
No, that sounds like how I want all of my board game nights to go. If I played this game and it made me do a single one of those things, I think I would.
No, I think it
be
would.
Very surprised.
I think it would make you question your mind.
Question my mind, maybe.
Yeah, in the sense of
maybe
like
question their mind.
Why did I agree to play this? In that sense.
Yeah. I really just don't like anything about this. The art is like fine, but it's not art that I enjoy. Also, there's just too much text on some of these cards.
Yeah.
The premise of the game, I just can't see playing this in a board game group.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head of what the typical board game group looks like, and I can't possibly imagine plopping this bad boy down on the table and it going over well with that crowd. So, but it is fully funded.
Yeah. Hey, it's for somebody. It's not for us, but it's for somebody. Oh, it's on Tabletop Simulator.
Whoa. Where do you see that?
Guess what word? Right there. Literally right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
On Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator.
Guess what we're doing tomorrow?
Yeah. Man, should
I'll
we?
see you in the simulations. No.
I don't know. It could be kind of fun.
It could be kind of fun.
You get a t-shirt. Whatever. What does this game cost? $40? I mean, that's a little pricey. Especially because that's with a 16% discount. But
yeah, that's $48 US. That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $50.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Okay. Mankind Madness, I think.
I will say, we know it's going in D tier. I mean, I'm not gonna try to hide that. But
Sure.
component wise, I do think it's the cards and board and art look nicer than the other ones.
It's probably true. Is it top of D tier?
I think it's the top of D tier.
I don't know. I like Dungeon Crawl more.
All right, we'll put it middle of D tier. I can be swayed very easily.
Yeah, I don't think either of us really care that much about this, but that feels right to me. Yeah, I think if this was the first game that we looked at tonight, maybe I'd be reacting a little harder to it. But
yeah.
At this point, I'm a little.
It's like I said, that post 10 game fatigue. I was telling you this before the stream started.
Post 10
it hits
game.
you.
And we are exactly after 10 games now, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is our list. And now I think it's time for some awards. What do you say, Arel?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to find a way to, we'll go like this. So it's.
I know we're going to have a little bit of a debate on our hands for best art. So, do you want to start?
Yeah. Should we start? We'll start with best game.
Art? Okay.
Well, or should we go the other way around? I don't know. Best game sort of feels like the most prestigious.
Yeah.
Maybe we should end with that.
Yeah.
Let's start with best campaign. What do you
I think
First of all, let's talk about
Yes.
the what elements are playing into
Sure.
this. What are we looking at here? What are we judging it based off of?
I think a campaign shows me everything I need to see about the game, while like it needs to show me all the components of the game, while also having me invested enough to get the rules of the game across to me.
Yep.
I also think that it needs to have, as anything, as a Kickstarter campaign, the only reason a Kickstarter campaign exists is they want me to back it. So I need to think that the backing of it, so the price point of it, needs to be accessible. Like obviously, I think that anything that's like crazy price point,
Yes.
exactly. The Brian's saying the price point has to be a major factor as well. So I would say the time that it takes to teach me everything I need to know and the price point for me are the two biggest factors for a best campaign.
Yeah, I also think there's an element to it of like layout of the campaign, organization of all the elements. Like we were talking about, I think it was Kilowawe, or however you pronounce that, had like all of the reviews stacked up, and I thought that was a nice touch. So stuff like that could also score some points for the best campaign award.
Yeah.
That being said, one more rule that we should touch on before we start awarding these is, I think we're going to say the same game can't win more than one.
No repeats. That's what Brian said in chat as his
yeah.
question. So there you go. Yeah, no repeats.
No repeats.
Only one for each.
Yeah. So best campaign, what are we thinking? Get Stacked, maybe?
Get Stacked.
No, I think, I mean, for me, it's either Eidolon or Kilowawe, I think. What's tricky, though, is that I think both of these are also up for the other two categories.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense that they're an S tier, so.
Yeah, I think Kilauea, I'm really tied for Kilauea for best campaign or best game. I will say I think that Eidolon had a flashier display and showed a lot more.
Yeah.
And they had the kind of step-by-step for the games. I think Eidolon might get best campaign for me.
Okay. I can see that. That's my only hesitation is that it means it can't win best art. But maybe that makes our argument at the end of this a little easier. Helps us avoid confrontation, because I think that would definitely be my nomination for best art. But you might be more of a Grunlings kind of guy.
Yeah. See, now Brian's coming in chat and saying he's giving Kilauea best game, Ash's best art, and Eidolon for campaign. I do think that out of everything here, and I'll concede, I'm not going to put up a fight, I'll concede. I think that out of everything here, the most original art, tied with the most beautiful art, is Grunlings. I think that Grunlings brings something that is new and really sweet and really wonderful. I do concede that at the end of the day, the art of Grunlings wasn't just made for the game. The game was kind of built around the art. So it does give it that kind of unfair advantage. Whereas the art of Ashes was made for Ashes. And,
we are
and there is
talking
something to be said about that.
We are talking just about the art, though. So
that's true.
Yeah. It's
Can we
one
look
of these
Can we
two.
look at both? Can we look at both of them quickly? Can we just like go right back to the campaigns and just give a little refresher?
We want Grunlings
and Ashes, yeah.
So here's some of the art for Grunlings. I mean, it really is all about the art. You get these wallpapers with it. It's made by an artist. The artist is like deeply involved in the production of the game, so it makes sense. And I feel like that scores it some points too in the art category. It's just how involved the artist is in the project.
Yeah.
Ash's Ascendancy does definitely have some great art with it as well.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
I mean, it's really nice art. It's really nice art. And I think it is varied and more high quality in a traditional game sense than Grunlings. So I think that we can give it to Ashes.
Okay.
Johanna, creator of Grunlings, I tried. I want you to know. Send death threats to Sam, not to me.
Oh, I don't know. Should we just make it Groenlings? I mean, I am with you that it feels like it deserves it. It feels like
Yeah.
Groenlings does deserve it more than Ashes does.
If we go from, of course, board game expert Marie Kondo of the art of tidying up, light on the place it gets dark. You know, we have to ask ourselves the eternal question: does it spark joy? And in that sense, I do think that Groenling sparks more joy for me personally than Ashes.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think you talked me into it.
We could also give it a joint best art. I don't know if that's...
No, there has to be one.
Okay, well...
That's too crazy.
I think I would... My heart goes to Groenlings, but I understand if we go with Ashes.
No, I think it's Groenlings. I'm giving it to Groenlings.
Okay.
Ashes does have fantastic art. But a part of it for me, as I'm thinking about it more, is that Ashes, I would expect to have good art because it's like from a big studio. They've done like a ton of this stuff
been
before.
Running for 10 years. Yeah.
So
that's also fair.
While like is the art just objectively of higher quality? Maybe like I don't know. It's weird to talk about artwork in terms of like quality.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
But like it is nice. It is really good artwork, and
it's really nice.
I do feel bad that Ashes isn't winning anything tonight, but I think best game has to go to Kilauea.
Kilauea. I mean, Kilauea. I think at the end of the day, it gave us a game that we like understood. Like they didn't try to beat around the bush with all these thematics. They taught us how to play the game. They let a YouTuber come in and show us how to play, which we appreciated immensely. So we have a feeling for the game now. And also, and this cannot be understated, the price point is insane. The dollar value for what you're getting with that is one of the most absurd things we've seen in our Kickstarter Quest so far. Just way under what we expected it to be.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, there is our cute little post for the night, our little graphic. That looks nice. I like this. Yeah. I think this is pretty good.
Nice. And a pretty good spread of games too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is sort of dawning on me that having S tier and then also a list of awards at the top is maybe a little redundant because it is just the same games. But it's nice to acknowledge what they're doing the best at, I think. Why we like them so much. So yeah, that would be our tier list for this week. Very cool.
I'm happy with it.
All right, and with that, we conclude yet another episode of Kickstarter Quest. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you for hosting, Arel. Thanks for powering through.
Oh, of course.
And
now that it's not at 9-10 p.m. for me, man.
Yeah, I guess that was probably a little rough, huh? Cool. Yeah, well, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys had fun. I thought this was a good episode. I thought we made a lot of progress. The tier list that's a nice addition. I can't wait to keep doing that again in the future. And Arel, you were saying that we've got sort of a stacked lineup next week.
Yeah. So I'll give it a little thing. It looks like next week we've got next week we've got not one but two board games based off of video games, so a lot of IP in there.
Our favorites.
We've got a board game based off a hit movie franchise. And we just have a lot of games that seem to have, like, from the covers alone, really good box art. So there's some really nice looking box art in there. I'm seeing like 4 or 5 games that just look like they've got great box art alone. So excited for it.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. If you are a Kickstarter Quest fan, you are not going to want to miss next week's stream. Right here, same time, same place on Studio Sp1cy. And until then, have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll catch you again right here for Kickstarter Quest next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you later. I got to work on my sign-offs. Bye-bye.